What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Live Podcast. Dad is not home this evening, and I am in control. So welcome. It's been a while since I've been in control. We got how you guys doing, Dan, Jeremy? How you living this evening?
Doing good.
Yep, doing well.
Well, we got a special guest this evening. He's a banger, if you will. Thrifty Golf from Whatnot, and we've been talking a lot of Whatnot lately. Particularly,
I heard a little bit of it.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, bro. Why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do, and anything.
So I go by Thrifty. My real name is Tyler, but most people call me Thrifty. It's kind of weird in this world for people to call me anything besides Thrifty. So Thrifty is okay for you guys too. I totally will respond to it. It's all good. So I own a small business in Maryland, just buying and reselling golf equipment, golf items, hats, apparel, anything really golf related. I started doing it right around COVID and did it kind of more as a side hustle at the time. A little something extra for my family. It was always what, I would joke with my wife, it paid for the vacations. So that was a good thing. And as time went on, it kind of grew and grew a little bit more and more. I started an Instagram account to kind of document my finds from a recommendation of a friend, another Whatnot guy currently, Hit 'em Far Golf. He said, you find a lot of cool stuff. You probably should start an Instagram and document it. And I was like, I'm not really a social media guy like that. I don't know. So I started doing it. And it was a really good thing that I did because shortly after, Whatnot was trying to start and grow the golf category. And they were kind of going around to different people that seemed like they did what I did and what others did, where we went around finding golf stuff and we were reselling it. And so that'll be this July, 2 years ago that they did that. Asked me if I wanted to join. Didn't really know how it would go, how I would do. Would I like selling things live to people, talking into a camera? Like, what would that be like? I was already familiar with Whatnot before. If I'm talking too much at any point too, just tell me.
No, the ads on Instagram. I knew of Whatnot because of the ads of Instagram. But before we go that deep into it, I would like to understand your golf journey and why is it golf?
Yeah. So it's kind of like actually as it relates to golf, I started playing. I don't really have much experience playing golf. I started playing golf when COVID hit. It was always one of those things that I had always kind of meant to do. I just never really got around to doing it. I thought, man, it would be really cool to learn how to play golf and be competent enough that you could go out for a work thing or with the guys. You wouldn't be a total disaster, wouldn't be, holding everybody up. It would just be nice to know enough to be able to go out and be competent. That was always my thing. And then COVID happened, and naturally, like myself and so many other people,
tons.
I bought the stupid junky starter set from Dick's and got some lessons from a buddy of mine who played golf in college. And, he taught me a few things, and I'm not good. Wasn't then, still not. But I fell in love with it and became addicted to just going to the range and hitting balls. And I really just started this piece to the journey because I didn't really know what type of clubs I liked to use personally. So I had watched, YouTube, Stacked Golf. Other people were doing the same thing. And really at the time, Stack's main motto was like, you can play golf for a reasonable amount of money. I have a background as a thrifter. I can talk more about that, if we want to get into that too. But, I essentially was just buying sets of irons and taking them to the driving range. I'd hit them, see if I liked them. And then the first couple times I was like, well, maybe I'll try something else. And then I went to resell them on Facebook and I made money each time. And I was like,
okay.
This is kind of cool. There. Like, what's going on here? This is crazy. And they would sell like immediately. And I'd have some background reselling on eBay and other places. So I was like, man, maybe I could like expand this a little bit, not quite to the extent that it is now. I never would have guessed. Really you know. So that's kind of how golf started for me. And I just kind of fell in love with like the equipment and the clubs. And I have this passion for like taking the really old stuff that nobody thinks is any good and kind of re-gripping it and cleaning it and making it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I forgot about the wedge I'm soaking in vinegar in the backyard currently. I probably should go scrub that. But I mean, for us here at Chasing Daylight Podcast, we are like certified golf nerds. We love the game. We love the history. We love playing. We love all aspects. We love the tour. We talk shit about live occasionally, but you know, we love everything golf. And I mean, I'm a huge architecture nerd, and we are big guys that you know, with 2020 COVID coming over, you know, a lot of guys don't know about the intricacies of the game, and you found your way. And like, I've watched your show many times, and like learning about shafts, you can go so far down the rabbit hole with the game, right?
Yeah.
Torque, kick point, grips. You do such a good job, and I'm actually kind of surprised that you're a 2020 COVID golfer.
Yeah.
You know, but you do such a great job. But so you don't really play all that much, huh?
No, don't really have the time to. Like until
I know.
I just started doing this full time in April. Actually, I was working a full time job for the state government for the past 7 years prior, and I was just trying to do this part time as a side hustle. I was literally like killing myself trying to make both things work really well. I was like sleeping 3 hours a night and stuff. So, because I try to put 110% into everything that I do, including this. And then, you know, it kind of made sense. We got to a point where it all kind of made sense. Yeah, sorry. I saw the little comment pop up. There's the Cleveland Bats vintage banger. I'm so used to talking with the chat. So
I know. Well, we're the homies. We're the homies now.
Yeah,
so
you're the ones that have to listen to me. What was I saying? I'm sorry. I spaced out. Oh yeah. So we I talked with my wife. We figured it out, and yeah. So doing this full time now. My hope is that at some point, you know, right now I'm in like an expansion phase of my business. I'm trying to scale more to the point where it makes sense that this is a full-time thing. And with that, I'm getting myself to the point where I'm stretching myself too thin again, just doing this one business. So I'm going to have to hire people to help me. I'm eventually going to have to expand my space, all that sort of thing. And the hope is that one day, yes, I do have more time to play golf. Yes, I do hope that, because I do love it and enjoy it. It's just right now I just don't have the time to prioritize playing as a thing. So
yeah, that's really interesting, right? So you come from the aspect of not playing golf very often and then going into the golf space on Whatnot. I come from like a golf background. I had Hitting Greens brand. I mean, how long have I been doing it? 3 years. You know, I had shirts. I did limited drops.
More than that.
Probably, right? So it's like, it's very interesting, like the scope of things. Like a lot of sellers are coming to the app. They don't know their stuff, but then they sell what's in their garage, and they don't have a brand yet. And I'm thankful that I have a brand currently, but the reason I started is because I was grilling some steaks in the backyard, and I was watching a guy I didn't like. I was like, I'm going in the garage and I'm selling the stuff that I have in there. I don't give a fuck, you know? And it's not easy. It's not easy. No. And respect to you. You just hit a huge milestone. 25K followers, left your day job, and it's not easy. It really is not easy. And the guys that have come over to watch me, they've said that I don't know how you do that by yourself. So you're doing it by yourself.
Yeah,
which is
it's
crazy.
A lot of juggling for sure. Yeah, it's you have to be able to multitask when you run the shows, and if you're not used to doing it, you know, I've done it for 2 years, so I know the app very well. I know the intricacies of how things work. There's jokes about me knowing how certain features work, and other guys will never touch them. You know,
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the pinned
pinning and running
joint.
next and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I've gotten it nailed down, and others will not even touch it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's tough. It for sure is tough. I've had a lot of people say the same, where they're like, I don't know how you do all that all at the same time.
It's
Because
not
yeah, you
easy,
have to
man.
juggle a lot. So
It's not easy. Where did your knowledge of the vintage area of golf come from? Because I mean, you
yeah,
are a vintage guy. Like
yeah,
I spent way too much money on this hat, but I rock it with the ultimate pride because it's Vegas, the Desert Inn hat.
it's
But where
amazing.
does
I
that
love
come
that hat.
from? It's so good. I love it.
So I actually have been thrifting vintage since the early 2000s before it was cool. My wife and I in high school would go thrifting, and man, the thrifting world was so different back then. You could go, I just remember going to, we had like a little stretch of stores that we would hit by me, and you'd spend the whole day thrifting, come home with a trash bag for
Yeah.
15-20 bucks in the trash bag. I mean, a billion t-shirts loaded up in that thing, and you'd be lucky these days to get a few t-shirts for that, just because
Yeah.
thrifting is so huge now.
Yeah.
But I've
It
been
was by the
thrifting for,
pound, back then.
oh man, it was yeah, like 25 cents, 50 cents a t-shirt and stuff. But you know, we used to do it because we didn't know all the lingo of all of the vintage guys that that there is now with the single stitch and the made in the USA tags and all that
Texas
sort of
and
thing.
all
Yeah,
that
I
shit.
didn't know
Yeah.
any of that stuff at the time. We just knew that we liked the old 80s t-shirts because they were super soft and super thin, and that's what we would always look for.
Right.
So like over time, that's always kind of been a part of me, is going thrifting, looking for cool stuff. I love the uniqueness of thrifting for vintage because I'm personally not into like having tons and tons of like mass produced stuff, because
Same. Yeah.
everybody else can have it, right? Like I could have
Yeah.
the same, and not to, I don't want to get into any particular brands, but any big golf manufacturer, I buy a hat from them today. I could go tomorrow and see somebody in the street or at the golf course has the same exact one I'm wearing. But if
Right.
I find that hat that Joe's wearing right now, what are the chances that somebody else in the world has that same exact hat on right now? Probably pretty
Totally.
slim. So the uniqueness of that is the thing that draws me to it, and I love it. I love it so much. Just knowing that
Yeah.
you have something that could be potentially unique to you, because all the other ones may be burned up in a fire or got thrown away in the trash or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so cool.
And you bring so many pieces from years ago back to life. You know what I mean? Like this is probably from what? I mean, I don't know the
90s, mid
years,
90s, probably
90s,
something like that. Yeah.
but it was probably sitting in somebody's like closet, and they played the round out there, they bought something and it was sitting in grandpa's closet, and
Yeah.
probably dusty or who knows, but you bring it back to life too. That's also a skill in its own right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I learned there's one particular guy that's a vintage guy in Wisconsin. His name's Bread Boys Vintage. He's really big into vintage hats, and he was on Whatnot. And so I'd kind of started buying and selling hats a little bit right before that. And I watched his show, and the guy was like so knowledgeable about hats in general, not just golf hats. Um, and I was just like fascinated by how much knowledge he had. So I kind of befriended him. I watched every show he did. I messaged with him, talked with him on Instagram. I asked if he would give me a tutorial on how to clean hats like really well, because he knew so much about how to clean them properly without damaging them and all that kind of stuff. And so I just became like his student and learned, just absorbed everything I could about the vintage hats. And he wasn't necessarily
Yeah.
golf. I mean, I kind of was able to meld his knowledge of just vintage hats in general with like the vintage golf hat market and kind of combine the two. And then it kind of turned into this thing that I did and I was a part of after that. But yeah, I mean, credit to him, because a lot of what I know when it comes to, cleaning and reshaping and bringing them back to life, as you said, was a lot
Yeah.
of just learning from him. So
I'm curious to hear what you think about like the new wave of golf clothing. Like Marco, like obviously
yeah,
loves students. You said the word students, which
yeah,
made me
yeah,
think of this.
yeah,
Students, Malbon. Like, how do
yeah.
you feel about the up and comers, right?
I
Because
I
I'm
love
I'm
it.
one of them. I'm one of
I
them
I
also.
love it. Yeah, personally, I love it. So I'll talk about what first. We just talked about hats, so let's talk about hats for a second.
Yeah.
The thing that drives me crazy about the modern day hats is that everybody is so into them right now. But what they don't realize is essentially every one of the hats that we're all wearing is the same exact style as a vintage hat, right? They all have
Right.
ropes. They all have high crowns. The only difference is that they have snapbacks. Otherwise, because the one you're wearing right now has a leather strap, and that's how they made the majority of them
Well, it's
back
also
then.
cardboard too here.
Yeah, cardboard brim, right? Because you have to be careful with the cardboard brims. But for the most part, the overall style of the hat is literally a vintage hat. It's the same thing, except for
Yeah.
whatever's on the front. The rest of the
Yeah.
style of the hat's the same. So it's just funny to me how so many of the guys are just so into like, oh, I would never wear a vintage hat, but meanwhile you're going to wear something that has a huge high front crown and a rope. It's the same thing.
Hat change.
But
Hat change.
yeah, there you go, another vintage one there. I love the style of all Malbon. I love Jason Day going out there, kind of bringing some uniqueness to golf.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I love that we're kind of getting away from the stuffiness and guys are wearing performance hoodies and stuff like that more often. I think it's really cool. And yeah, I mean, anything that like we're stepping out of the box with the fashion in golf, I love it. I think it's great. I mean, again, because some of that, I don't know if you would call Malbon streetwear golf or how you would describe that, but like some of that style of clothing in the golf space right now is modeled after vintage. Like you don't have to
Totally.
ask me twice to do it. I think it's great.
Absolutely. It's so interesting how golf has changed since the onslaught of the COVID game, right?
Mhm.
Like it's changed so much in 5 years. Golf is now cool. It wasn't cool. It was stuffy and, I still have, I played a little bit as a kid, but I remember, it's like I took a shirt in, but now people are like, it's so different. And I think it's because of the influx of players such as yourself from 2020, and the game has grown a lot. We here on Chasing Daylight podcast, we love growing the game, right? But we love growing the game correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's missing in the game is people aren't taught the proper etiquette, the fixing ball marks, filling your divots, raking your bunkers, and we've seen that in Vegas a lot. And I just wish somebody would like take hold and like, you know what I mean? Teach them the right way.
Yeah. No, I feel you. There's something to being able to go out with some. You don't want to just start playing golf with all newbies, right? You want to have some experience people with you when you are learning to first go out. And that was always my thing. Like I'm very much into like when I first wanted to learn how to play, I told my friend, I was like, I want to just go right to you before I even swing a club because I want to know, like, I want to be a clean slate. I want to not have any bad habits or mistakes or whatever. But I also was always kind of like afraid to go play around because of the etiquette of golf. Like I wanted to make sure I was doing things the right way. And I know not everybody always thinks about that, but for me, like making sure I do things the right way is always just part of my life. So I kind of always wanted to make sure that I was doing that. So it was important to me to be with other people that understood what doing the right thing meant.
And I think that shows in
stuff,
I think that shows in your essence of what you sell, right? Like I've never seen you sell anything bad birdie, or maybe I have
I
one
have,
time.
I have.
Yeah. But it's like that is, and that's kind of weird, right? Like the stereotypes of what people wear on the golf course. Like bad birdie is associated with drinking and being crazy on the golf course. And
cool patterns.
that's what I love. Yeah, great patterns, right? But it's changed so much. And now I saw a polo at Walmart the other day. It was on clearance. It looked exactly like a bad birdie t-shirt.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like people are trying to come into the game or the golf market now and changing up the whole thing. It's just
Oh
wild.
yeah, I've talked with a couple. Griff Golf 304, my buddy. He's
Yeah,
one of
Griff's great.
he's an OG on the app on Whatnot. He's one of the first guys to be on there. He was selling when there wasn't even a golf category. He was just selling in sporting goods. So he was kind of like a trailblazer for golf.
Sweet.
On
Love
Whatnot. But he's a big, well, I would say that he's a bougie shirt guy. And
Yeah.
something we've talked about a lot recently is the fact that so many of these, I would say, not as desirable brands like Walter Hagen's and
Yeah.
What are some other ones? Even like
Well, stuff you can
Callaway
find on
and
a
some of
clearance
those.
rack, then
Yeah,
there's abundance of them.
they're just lower tier stuff, but I swear to you, they've been tricking me recently with the patterns that they've been putting out.
Yeah,
Because the patterns
totally.
have been great, and then I'm like, whoa, what's this? What's this shirt gonna be like if I'm thrifting? And then I'm like, oh, it's a Walter Hagen, but the pattern's really
Yeah.
good. Like they're stepping
Yeah.
up the game on the patterns. But again,
Totally.
I think it's in a direct result of what you just said. Like everybody's trying to catch up with these other guys that have already been ahead of it with the cool patterns. Like Pins and Aces is on Whatnot, and those guys are making crazy
Yeah.
patterns and stuff. And
Yeah, they are.
everybody's just trying to follow that lead because that's what's really working in the modern day golf apparel space right now. So
yeah, it's
Totally.
crazy. Like it's amazing. Like those first companies that came out and took the risk of making those prints and stuff, because back then it was like solid colors, maybe
Yeah.
some stripes. That was like the golf shirt. Now it's like you see everything out on the golf course now.
Yeah, now it's the crazier the better. Like if I'm out
Yeah.
thrifting, I get so excited when I see crazy patterns because I'm like, oh man, the guys are gonna love this one. Like the crazier the better. So
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you live in an area that is abundant to golf, okay? And you have, I mean, we're kind of jealous in Las Vegas, right? So we're in Vegas. We have like 50 golf courses, if you will, but
Yeah.
people are transient here. You guys have members. You can travel 3 hours and play some of the greatest golf courses in the country,
yeah.
right? There's so many, and I found
Very
so many.
seasonal though. Don't forget, very seasonal here.
That's true. We can play all year. We can play all
Yeah.
year. That's the one upside. But
Yeah.
for you, you can travel 3 hours and play basically, I don't know, hundreds of top 200 courses. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing numbers out there, but like you're in an area where Burning Tree. I know I ask you always for Burning Tree.
Yeah. I found two burning trees today, just so you know.
XL, that's the one. I mean, and there's so many sleeper golf courses in that area. Like I asked you about Bitterman, which is in Wilmington. I got to play with my friend that's up there, and you never even heard of it. And
No,
that's
I
the
hadn't heard of
thing.
that one.
In your area, there is so many incredible golf courses that you've never heard of. But you are in a land of golf abundance,
Yeah.
and I'm jealous. I'm jealous.
Oh, sorry, Joe. I apologize. I just was born here. I don't know what to tell you.
But you got good crab. What's
it,
the
good
local
crab.
Old Bay? What's the local Old Bay
Bay.
out there?
That's the spice, yeah. That's
No,
the
what's
one.
the local one? What's the local one?
Oh, J.O. Spice. Is that the one
Okay,
you're talking
there
about?
we go. Yeah, J.O.
That's the
J.O.
one everybody always. Yeah, you don't know about J.O. Spice unless you live here.
Yeah,
but that's the one most
never heard of
people, the watermen put on the crabs instead of Old Bay. Old Bay is the like commercial like one that
Yeah, that's
whole
not
rest of
that's
the
the
world
non-vintage.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That's funny.
So when you go play, where do you go play?
There's a couple ones that are local to me, just like local munis. There's one that's called Oak Creek that I played a ton during COVID. It's like a little south of me. It was amazing. It's such a nice course, and during COVID they could. There was like a twilight rate that we were playing after 3 p.m. during the summer, and it was like $35 for the round. It was crazy. So that would probably be my like number one by me if I were to go play. And then when I had my full-time job, I worked in Baltimore. So there's actually a slew of Baltimore City courses that are shockingly not terrible public courses. They actually do maintain them pretty well. So I would play there just for the convenience of, being pretty close after work, that sort of thing when I was playing some. So
I will tell you a little lesser known fact about me. I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with my wife
Were
during
you? Wow,
with my wife for the Lucky in Love Couples Week, and that was
that's
my first
hilarious.
time to Maryland. That was my first time in Maryland,
Wow.
and I went to play Timbers at Troy. You ever
Oh
played
yeah,
there?
yeah. I haven't played there. I know where it is though. That's
That's
cool.
about 5 minutes from my wife's aunt's house. I had played with a
Cool.
set of rental Wilsons that were senior flex, and it was terrible
That's
club
great.
wise, but it was awesome. I mean, and that's also a thing. Like for us, right? We're in the desert. We don't get trees up there. You got trees.
Yeah.
Um, Coach Porch said 5 minutes from my house. Well, my
Yeah.
aunt-in-law lives right there too, but yeah, it's just different up there, and we're jealous of that but you guys, other people are also jealous of playing in the desert, right? It's like,
Yeah, I saw the
you
intro
know what I
video. I was
mean?
watching the intro video of you guys teeing off, and I was like, man, that course looks cool. That looks like that would be really fun to play that course.
Yeah, that's black
You always
desert.
want what
And
you don't have, right? That's how life
exactly,
goes. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Playing Shadow Creek for the first time on Thursday, me and Jeremy.
Sweet.
That's gonna be fun.
That's awesome.
But
Yeah.
what? So, Coach Porch said, teaching newbies is kind of the responsibility of the veteran golfers that are playing with the newbies. I think it's up to us to share the game the right way, and that's
Yeah. I
for
agree.
me. That's what I try and do on Whatnot, right? Like everybody asks about, like, should I take lessons? Should I get a stiff flex shaft? And it's everybody's so different. Everybody's
Yeah.
so unique. And it's about sharing the knowledge. You know what I mean? It's pretty wild. It's so wild. Like, and it's a shock to me being a newer guy coming, but it's different. But you also like take a snapshot picture of the old ways, which I love personally. You know what I mean? And your knowledge of the older style, the old school way is commendable, if you will. Because I have a persimmon, I have a custom persimmon from Larson Golf, like downstairs, that I take out every once in a while. But I think people should dive into the ways of how it was to figure out
Yeah.
where it's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I think it's important. I think that just like anything, it's important to understand. If you want to be really into something, it's important to understand the history of that thing to know how you got to where you are now, right? Um,
Exactly.
because like everybody's obsessed with Scotty Cameron putters and whatever. Like, go look
I
at
don't
some of the
understand
old
that.
those. I mean, I love them. I think they're great. I think the craftsmanship's really cool and stuff. But it's also cool to understand how they
Yeah.
got to where they are, right? What are
Yeah.
we pointing?
We're pointing at Jeremy. He's a huge Scotty fan.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean I am
Yeah,
too. I
but
collect
I've been
them.
liking them since like the 90s.
Yeah,
So-
and I love the old ones. The old ones are the best.
Yeah.
Like that's but again, it's also just my love for anything old and
Yeah.
the idea
Yeah.
that there's
Yeah.
some uniqueness and rarity to the fact that I might have one that somebody else doesn't, or there's few of them left out there. I don't want the brand new Scotty. I don't care about that. That
No.
doesn't mean anything
Yeah.
to me.
But you're also
but-
very familiar with Goodwood Putters, who is in your area. We all got putters made by Goodwood. Goodwood Putters, fantastic putters, craftsmanship. I will always go custom over anything stock that you can buy online. Like, I want to tell you what I want. You know, that's me. But Jeremy got a Goodwood putter recently. He has played it, which I enjoyed seeing. But he also has a putter from Strokes Gain. That's my gamer, and I've never seen that on the golf course ever. And
Yeah,
it's a
practice
Pete
green.
Dye. We threw a Pete Dye tournament, if you
Tribute,
will, at
yeah.
Paiute tribute. That's where we met Dan, which is now one of my brothers, one of my best friends. That's where we met him. But Jeremy won this custom Legends Never Die. That's what we called it after Pete Dye passed away. And it's so sick, and it's just sitting in a closet. And I hate to see that. I really hate to see it.
In between several Scotties.
Yeah, and he just plays Scotty. And
So
but
you're
that's
not
the
into
thing.
collecting. You just think that every putter should be gamed then.
honestly,
No, I
am
meant
more
Joe.
of a
I didn't mean
gaming
you,
putter.
Jeremy. I meant Joe. I feel
No,
like Joe was
no,
kind of
no.
getting at the fact that like
I think
every putter should be gamed. It's like it's a tool. It's
no.
not something to collect.
Yeah, tools not jewels. I'll say that. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think especially with the putter, right? It's personal. Putters are personal. You know what I mean? It is something that gets you in the hole, if you will. And it's like you have to find your correct relationship. You know,
Mhm.
I'll dabble here and there, but um, I think if you go custom or even if you get a Scotty and it's stamped with your initials, it brings a closer connection to that putter. That's my whole thing. It's like I care for this. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because it's mine. It's nobody else's. This is my putter. And that's where I'm at with it. Um, but yeah, Jeremy not taking that out of the closet just always irritates me.
Yeah.
I
It's a
view
just-
some
shame.
of them honestly as just this amazing piece of artwork. Like some of
Totally. Yeah,
some of
absolutely.
them
And
are
if you
like,
collect, great.
I can't even imagine somebody gaming some of these putters that I've seen just because
Yeah,
they're just such beautiful pieces of artwork, And I do feel like they're just meant to be looked at, some of them.
Mhm.
But
Some of them, absolutely.
yeah.
But I love seeing
Yeah.
those like 009 Scotties that are
Oh, yeah.
they've obviously been gamed and they're $10,000 on eBay. I mean,
That
that's
is
like
crazy.
that is sick to me.
Yeah.
I would absolutely game a 009.
Yeah, you're a sicko if you do that, but that's cool.
Yeah, but he's a fan. He's been golfing. How long have you been golfing, Jeremy? I don't even know.
Dude, my dad, like most people I know, like they learned golf from their dad or uncle or grandpa or someone in my whole life. So
Yeah,
when I was
awesome.
2, I probably started going out with him. And so it would be interesting though, because I mean, I know some people that started playing golf during COVID, like yourself,
Mhm.
but it'd be interesting to see golf through their eyes, because for me,
Right.
it's a completely different thing. I feel like I'm more of a traditionalist type of person.
Mhm.
So the whole COVID thing and a bunch of people starting to play golf that maybe weren't introduced the same way I was is an interesting thought to me. Because it's
Totally.
always been like we all go out with our dad, or go with your cousins and your grandpa, you go play golf. But there's people that really started playing in an older age that didn't have that. And that may lead into some of those things we talked about earlier about not having someone to teach them the etiquette while you're playing for the first time or whatever. That would be interesting to see that through other people's eyes of kind of the newer golfer.
Absolutely. It's wild,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, it is.
Golf
it has
is-
changed so much. It's insane.
It really has. Golf is the greatest game ever created. In my eyes, always will be, always has been. I mean, I started playing in 2018. I mean, I went out with my dad a couple times and he went and buy me a new club, so I stopped. And I'd probably be on live right now because I would have took the bag, but it is what it is. But no, I mean, it's super interesting.
Yeah. So do you do
Dan, what you
anything
got?
else besides the
Oh,
golf? The golf? Do you sell any other vintage stuff still, or is it pretty much just golf?
I do sell some vintage, but I wholesale it all now to somebody
Ah.
that I'm close with that has a store.
Gotcha.
So it's just a lot easier for me because then I don't waste any time looking for the stuff. I only look for what I think he might want specifically for his store that he curates. So, we've worked together over time, and it's like if I'm out and I happen to see something, I'll pick it up for him. I just wholesale it directly to him for his shop. It just makes it easier for me. It doesn't really add up to a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, but it just gives me the outlet that, if I see something that I know I just would feel terrible leaving behind, that it's something I can just feed right to him instead. But yeah, I mean, and frankly, like I'm at a point now where all of my business is really on Whatnot. Like I don't sell anywhere else anymore. I still have some stuff listed elsewhere, but I don't actively list on eBay or anywhere else anymore just because Whatnot has just been so good to me. I always want to bring everything to my guys. And frankly, like my sourcing has been changed based off of Whatnot. Like what I buy, how I buy it, the things that I look for are tailored now specifically to my audience on Whatnot. I know what I can and can't buy. I know what will do well,
Right.
what won't do well. based off of the guys that I have come in, based off of the history of just trying different things. Like, I know I've kind of honed in on, and it is fun. Like, there's always new things that pop up. Like, oh, I wonder if this will work, and it makes it fun because then I can try something new and see if it's going to work or not. But for the most part, the way that I source has changed dramatically over the past 2 years, because you have to just kind of do trial and error to figure out what exactly your audience is looking for. So
That's funny because like every time I mean, I'm still new, but every time I start a show, like I say, no den caddies, couple lefties, no broomsticks, you know, this, that, because I don't have it. So I'm letting you know if you're in there, like, because people are after specific things, and the sourcing is, you know, inventory is hard as it is, you know, it's so hard.
yeah,
Like you got to go out hunting, but yeah, I feel you on that 100%.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's man, inventory is tough, and especially by me. And you said something that was interesting before, Joe, that you kind of like envied this area as it relates to golfing, but
Yeah.
this area is very tough when it comes to like sourcing for golf, because we don't just have tons of golf clubs everywhere like some of the guys do in Florida and California. Like, I swear,
Yeah.
seeing what some of these guys find in Florida, it's mind-boggling to me
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
can
Oh,
go
yeah.
out to yard sales like that and find the stuff that they do. Because
Florida
I've
is a
tried that.
hotbed.
I've tried that so many times, and I've just given up on going to a day's worth of yard sales because it's just a complete waste of my time. But meanwhile,
Right.
these guys are finding Scotty Camerons at yard sales every weekend. It's insane to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that shit blows my mind.
It's
That
insane,
shit blows
right?
my mind. I'll
Yeah.
see videos and posts of people walking through like Goodwills or secondhand stores, and like they're like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
just scored these 690 MBs here and get them for $5 a club." It's like, who does that? Like, who gives away all these sick clubs for nothing, and then they just walk upon it like, oh, this is cool. Check out what I found. I'm gonna go down the street and find another set of these too. It blows my mind, some of the gems that people can find in these secondhand stores and Goodwills and Salvation Armies and stuff. It's nuts.
I will say that if you do it enough, you're bound to find stuff, right? And that's the thing that I always tell guys.
Yeah.
A lot of guys just think like, oh, I've never found anything at that thrift store before. And I'm like, well, how often have you gone to it? Well, I went like 2 or 3 times, and the 2 or 3 times I went, I never found anything. Well, guys, do you know how many times I've gone to the same thrift stores? Like thousands of times. You have to keep going, because if you don't go, you don't know if you're going to find something, right?
Yeah.
And you just, it's such, you have to kind of create your own luck with thrifting, right? And you have to keep giving yourself the opportunities to find things, because you can't go once or twice and think you're never going to find anything at that store. Because there's many times where I've struck out 10 times in a row at a store, and then on the 11th you find something crazy. Right. So, you just never know. It's really about volume, the amount of times you go, how often you go. After a certain amount of time, you have to just do a cost benefit to say like, oh, is it worth me going to this store so many times? But yeah, I mean, you're bound, if you do it enough, you are bound to find cool stuff. I mean, I've found 3 Scotty Cameron polos thrifting in my lifetime, which is crazy to think that somebody gave away Scotty Cameron polos, but I found 3 of them before. But again, that's after going hundreds of times to thrift stores. I mean, I go on vacations with my wife, and I'm looking up where the thrift stores are, or wherever we are, because I'm just curious to go see what they have and what the prices are and that kind of stuff. We went on a vacation to San Francisco last year, and I convinced her that it would be a good idea to go thrifting, and we did a show from the house in San Francisco while we were on vacation selling golf shirts. Wow. And then I had to buy a second suitcase to take a second suitcase back home so I could ship it all when we got back. I mean, I'm a sicko, but this is the kind of stuff that you think about all the time when this is like, what you do and what you're obsessed with. I love the hunt.
Totally.
The hunt is amazing to me. It's just so fun because you never know what you're going to find at any given time. And a lot of the people that do what I do will tell you the same thing. Like, the hunt is the best part. So,
dude, my whole mindset has changed since starting. Like, I go to hit all the golf shops at least once a week. There's a thrift store by my house. I go 3 times a week. Just I pop in real quick, nothing, out. It's like the hunt. The hunt
Hmm.
is, and giving some or finding something that somebody else will appreciate is awesome.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's so rewarding to me to have people that I can shop for. I love that. Like, I know that I'm out there, and if it's crazy to even think, because most of the people I've never met before, I've never seen their face. I know nothing about them. I just know a username, and then I know that they like large FootJoys, right?
Yeah,
And
right.
it's just really cool that I'm able to like curate stuff for that person and know what they like and know what I'm looking for. And you kind of have like a little bit of a mission that's part of what you're doing. Like, I have this mission to find things for certain people, and it makes it really fun for me that I have like that purpose to, you know,
Yeah.
to the sourcing, right? It's like there's this extra purpose to the sourcing, that I have like a list in my head of all of these different things that I'm specifically looking for certain people. It makes it really fun.
Yeah, super cool. Anytime you see something Vegas, you tag me automatically. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what
right.
did I miss?
Exactly.
Now, Thrifty, is your thrifting adventures, are you mostly golf stuff, or is everything off the table, like watches, like
Yeah, yeah.
anything?
No. So yeah, I kind of stopped because it's my philosophy that if you can get really good at one thing, do that, right? Like, I nothing against, because there's lots of thrifters out there. There's lots of YouTubers that they just will thrift anything because they think that if you know
Right.
something's a good thing to find and a good thing to
Yeah,
buy, um, then that's great, and you're going to be profitable off of those items. That's a great thing. But for me, especially now, like, my business is golf specific, and whatnot for
gotcha,
me is golf specific. I don't
gotcha.
have the time to be listing those other things elsewhere. So I really have to just stay in my lane and stay focused on really only the golf stuff that I know makes sense for my business model and for what I'm trying to do on whatnot. So I used to do that where I'm like, oh, I saw somebody, a hairy tornado, find that on YouTube. I know that thing is good and I can make money off of that.
Yeah,
I've kind of had to stay away from that. And what I do now is I look at that item and go, wow, that's a good item that somebody could make some money off of. And then I move on, just trying to keep myself
I
from
gotcha,
buying that thing I know will go sit in a pile and I'll never end up listing. So,
gotcha.
Yeah. It's wild, man. I am in the
It
world
is.
now, and it's addictive also on both ends.
Fuck yes, it is.
Dan is a newcomer to Whatnot, right? And every time I go on Whatnot, I see him just in shows. Every
I'm
time.
a I'm,
He's the ghost tree. He's the ghost tree from
so you love
I'm
it,
a
huh? Yeah.
buyer.
Abandoned Dunes. Yeah.
I'm a
That's
Yeah,
buyer
awesome.
he's
for
a big
sure.
buyer.
There you
The
go.
last like week to 10 days, it's just I need to stop.
So it
I
kind of
really
is
do.
like, it kind of like, I don't know, maybe this is like me segueing into a different topic, but like, it kind of, and maybe now that you guys being on the buyer side get this sense of like, I think that this is the future of shopping, right? Like, I think
That's what I
live
wanted to get
shopping,
into. 100%.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Totally.
I think live shopping is the future. There's already been, to certain degrees, proof of concept in Asia that this is huge, right? Like, live shopping's enormous in Asia.
Yes.
Um, we've already seen it, and I've kind of explained it to some people as like, we've already seen that it works because QVC was huge for so long. People would call in
Yeah.
and talk to the
Hmm.
hosts and all this
Totally,
stuff.
bro.
Like,
Yeah,
it's like
Totally, dude.
very similar to what we're doing now. It's just, I don't
100%.
work for some like big company. I just am a guy in a garage doing it with my own stuff. Um, but I think live shopping is totally the future. We're all on our phones anyway. We all are
Yeah.
looking for something to entertain ourselves with. Everybody's buying stuff constantly. I don't want to tell you the number of Amazon boxes that show up at my house every single day
Yeah.
from my
Yeah.
wife. And why not just buy those same things from somebody that you enjoy watching and enjoy, interacting with? And I think that's
Yeah.
what we've shown with so many people have shown on Whatnot, and especially in the golf category, like the guys love just buying the new thing or the extra putter for their collection or whatever it is. I just think the future in live shopping is going to be massive. I think we're like in the infancy stage right now. This is just a small sliver of what it could potentially be in the future. So that's just my personal opinion of it.
Yeah, I tell my wife all the time. She works in retail. I'm like, this is a thing. I'm glad I started when I did, but like this is happening. I mean, Amazon does live Prime shows selling speakers, and it's if you can. And that was another question I had for you, actually. Like, you are related to the viewers, right? Like, me, right? And it's like, oh, what up, Hitting Greens? How you living? Blah, 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 whatever, And it's like you're yourself, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
But you're bringing people into your show. You're being yourself. You're not like putting on a phony front. You're not you don't work for Entertainment Tonight or something, or Hard Copy, if you will. Little throwback.
Or
but it's like
they're pushing stuff.
Exactly. Like when I watch influencers, I know that they're selling liquid IV because they got paid for it. You're selling stuff that you found for people, and it's a different dynamic. It's they come to learn who you are, and it's just different, which is so cool. And I agree with you 100% that it is the future of selling wholeheartedly.
Yeah, so, I mean, I will say I still have to be a good salesman. I will say, like, that's part of the whole thing. I have to be
totally
to be successful. I have to be entertaining. I feel like the people that are most successful on the app are the people that are the most entertaining, are the most interesting to watch. Yeah. They are also the best salesmen for the most part. To a certain degree, I have to be a good salesman, whether or not you are a honest good salesman or not. I think it's a different story.
Totally.
Which I feel like is important for people to understand, that even if I have to be a salesman to sell the things that I have, that I'm being honest about it. And I think that's really important to me with my audience, what I'm doing. So So I agree with you. I will say though, like, you do have to be a salesman to some degree, because otherwise you're not going to sell any of your stuff. So
yeah. I mean, it's like I have a hard time lying already, and I'm not going to lie to anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
If you want it, you want it. If you don't, you don't. It's all right. Figure out another way.
I try to, like, for the most part, and I'm sure you do the same thing. Like, you want to source stuff that you can stand behind, right? Like, if there's in the rare instances that, like, I make a mistake, like, I'm a volume seller, so I sell lots of stuff every week. There's times stuff slips through the cracks, and I know that everybody knows that nobody's perfect. If it slipped through the cracks, you just tell me and I'll fix it, because customer service is important to me.
Sure. Thrifty got those gold wings, bro. Thrifty got gold wings.
That's it. So,
yeah, man. You guys got anything else? I think it's super late for Thrifty over here. Like we said, we're in Vegas. Thrifty's in Maryland, and we can go
past
through
his
Vegas
bedtime.
We gotta wake up in a couple hours to start.
I'll work in the garage a little bit longer, probably still. But yes,
you can turn that fan on finally, right?
Thank God, I'm dying.
All right, bro. Well, you can take off. I appreciate you. Like I said, I watched Whatnot for a year. Okay, I never commented or threw any chats out there, and I watched a lot of people before I even jumped on the app. And you are one of my favorites.
I appreciate you.
So I appreciate what you find, and I appreciate what you bring to the table. Whatnot is awesome. And the community is fantastic. So thank you, bro. I'll be out there in September, something like that.
Oh, yeah. Let me know.
We'll play some golf, get you out of the garage. Let's play some golf.
I'm available. September's lots of birthdays here in September, but if I'm available, you got me.
Absolutely, bro. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on, man. Totally.
course.
Yeah,
Love it.
thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate
Thank you,
guys.
Thrifty.
All right.
Take care.
Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll jump into let's jump into the whole Fleetwood Keegan thing. What do you guys think about that? Choker? Choker. I wanted to see Fleetwood win. Like, you know, I've been rooting for him for a long time, but
yeah,
but
that
it's
guy's way
also
too good
cool.
to not have a Met win yet.
It's cool to see Keegan win though too. And now
yeah.
the playing captain thing jumps in, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's also at Bethpage Black. I played there.
Yeah.
If you guys didn't know.
You've played there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no shit, Joe. Really?
Yeah. I slept in the parking lot. Yeah.
Oh, he must have not told us, because I figured he would have told me something like that.
I must have forgot. Sorry.
News. Anyway,
it was tough to watch, but I will say the duels thing that they came out with the other day, I think yesterday, it was like the Live Duels little YouTube or TV thing, whatever, where they have 5 Live pros, and then 5 content creators.
Oh yeah.
That was actually really good to watch. That was good. It was pretty intense at the end, so I would recommend it. But I just think that direction where you'll have to watch. I don't know if you watched the first duels. It felt like a Live program, right?
I did. I think I did. Yeah.
It looked like an extension of Live, but this was like on Brian Bros channel. It looked like just another Brian Bros video. And I really think that is the way to get people back to watching. If the tour could figure out a way to do it so it feels like a course vlog, less of like a presentation with the ads, and the, you know, commentators are fine, but it's so much more engaging when you're down on the course and you're like,
oh yeah, absolutely,
right next to these guys. There's got to be a way to mix those two, because even watching the Travelers, it's just, I don't know. I have a hard time getting into it if it's not a major, even if it's an elevated event.
I've noticed that recently too. Like, it's hard to get into things if it's not a major lately, you know, or if I don't have a bet on it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that post. I don't know if you guys saw it like last week or 2 weeks ago, where it's like, I think Matt reposted it. Shout out, Dad. Where it's like, this is what you need to do to bring in people. You need to change the course roto, which we've been saying for a long time, and change it up. I don't know if it's like getting stale because they split and it's stale now, but I'm full supporter of them changing things up. You know, like, let's see them at fucking the Loop. Let's see them at fucking Arcadia Bluffs. Let's see them at, never played these courses, White Horse. I've played White Horse. Let's see them at Chambers Bay. Fuck it. You know, there's a lot of shit, a lot of heat that happened because of Gary Player at Chambers Bay. Let's see him at Salish. Fuck it. You know, like, who cares if they're 50 yards out from the green? Let's see some new shit. And that's the way that golf has changed. You know, like, we don't need to see the same golf courses from the past 30 years. Throw it out there.
Something will change, but I just feel like that's why. I mean, most of the people that maybe were watching the tour are just, maybe it's the same thing, and they see the value in what these content creators are doing. I mean, I never was into it. Like, a couple of years ago, I never watched YouTube. I couldn't stand what, you know, good and all that stuff, but they have stepped up their game significantly. Like, in the last year, the production quality is incredible.
Yeah.
And some of the guys do it themselves, and they're just crushing it. It's awesome.
Yeah, and they're on the grounds at courses you haven't played. Like, when I'm gonna go play a golf course I've never played, like, I look up on YouTube, Landman, if you will, and I'll click on the one with the most views, with the best looking whatever, clickbait or whatever, if you want to call it that.
Yeah,
and I'll watch it.
Thumbnail.
Yeah, the thumbnail. Yeah, I'll watch that because I'm going there and I want to look at the course, and I don't know. They got to change something up.
I think it's also probably like how our attention spans have evolved over time as well.
100%.
YouTube's
Yeah,
instant.
totally.
I mean, golf, you have to commit hours if you want to watch a golf tournament. But YouTube, you can watch 10 minutes, you can watch an hour or 2 hours if you want, but it's instant. Like it's there.
Yeah.
You get your instant feed of whatever it is, but it is a commitment to watch the tour.
You get your Rolex commercial, you get your Primerica commercial, you know.
Yeah.
It's the thing. YouTube's instantaneous.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting. But what do you guys think about? Do you think Tommy's putt hit a divot or something, a ball mark? Because that thing jumped.
It hit something.
It did.
Yeah, you could see it kick off line for sure. But also too, like, you know, don't leave yourself an 8-footer for par or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Should have hit the 9. I know it should have, could have, would have, but the win was India. I'm sure he was probably feeling amped up, but you know, just hit the 9. He had it in his hands, went back, switched to the pitching wedge, came up short, and 3-wiggled from there. So sucks, but
yeah,
you know,
I
gotta
think
make
he'll get one eventually. He's
better
got
decisions.
to, but yeah.
Do you think Keegan plays during Ryder Cup?
I mean, I don't know, man. He's almost there. I mean, where's he at right now? In the 9 spot,
like
or
8
spot for
I think
Ryder
he's
Cup
8.
points?
8 or 9. Yeah.
8.
So technically he can pick himself, but I think that if the Ryder Cup committee or whoever the hell it is in charge of making captains and co-captains, I think that they might want to think about finding another captain and having him play.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Another captain?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there is a player captain option. I'm sure there is. I wouldn't see why there wouldn't be. But if he's going to be, Keegan's been playing pretty well lately, and if he can continue this momentum, why give him the duties of being a captain and a player? Just have somebody captain and let him focus on playing and kicking ass in the Ryder Cup.
Well, that's the clip I saw.
That's what I think. But
that's the clip I saw. Like, I mean, he could be a playing captain. I mean, he's got Jim Furyk, he's got Kevin Kisner, co-captains. I don't know if there's someone else. But everybody was saying, like, we want you to, go play. So it's such a big one too. And Keegan loves Ryder Cup, and it's at Bethpage, which I've played. That it's big for him, and I'm curious to see if he plays because it's so important. Keegan's a huge Ryder Cup fan, right? Like he wants to win. And I'm curious if he'll throw himself out there to play and trust his co-captains to captain for him. I don't think they're switching the captain. Like Keegan's the captain. Jim Furyk and Kisner can do it, right? But I'm really curious.
Well, we'll see what happens. But if Keegan wins again,
then he's playing. Yeah, he's
playing. Going. I mean, you would have to consider giving up the captaincy if he wins again. I mean,
can they do that?
I don't know. It's just me. Maybe I'm off on that. Maybe he can be a player captain, and that's not going to be an issue at all. But
you got Jim Furyk back there too. Like maybe Jim.
Well, you got Furyk. You got Tiger. Tiger
Kisner
can be a fucking captain.
Tiger's not doing
it. Freddie back in there. I mean, why wouldn't Tiger do it?
Calvin Pete's not alive.
Calvin Pete, he's dead.
Is he alive? Yeah, I know.
No, I think he's dead.
The ghost of Calvin.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, if Keegan keeps winning, you have to consider
he's gonna have to play. If he's top 6, he's got to play.
Yeah,
so we'll see what happens there. I don't know. It's interesting though.
Yeah, we'll see. See what happens.
Do you guys have anything else before we go through Vegas Golf Network and TPC Las Vegas?
I think so.
Nothing else, Ed.
All right. Well, we had the VGN tournament at TPC Las Vegas this past weekend. It was a great day. I woke up a little breezy, a little brisk, 70 degrees. It was a nice day. Fantastic. I highly recommend Vegas golf in 70-degree weather. Of course, the man himself, Daniel Hodges, won the top
unstoppable
division. in a
Unstoppable.
playoff against Mike Visegas. How'd that playoff go?
It went good. We played 2 holes. We both we played 18. We first hole he pipes it. I kind of squirted one to the right side. Put my second shot in the bunker and was able to get up and down for par. Mike just missed the green and he got up and down for par, so we ran it back on 18. Both hit it down the middle. On Mike's second shot, he pulled it a hair and it just fell off the green and kind of rolled into the rocks and went into the water. So after his drop, and he almost got up and down, which was crazy. He had like a I think like about a 35-foot par putt after the drop, and he almost cashed it. He just missed the lip, and so that just left me a 2-putt to win, and was able to do it.
Yeah, I was really hoping for a live feed in the clubhouse with the jelly beans that were laid across the table, if you will.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
But yeah, I didn't know Juju was out there reffing. But Ethan Ibarra won the Spades flight. He is a newcomer, I believe, this year. He's also a whatnotter, so go check out Rivalry Rips on Whatnot. I played decently, if you will. I had a lot of bogeys, had a lot of birdies, but just couldn't make it happen. Hearts flight was Rich Red Drop, the homie. Shout out the homie Drop. He won his flight, and then in the clubs division, it was Derek Long. Everybody taking away a major. I did win a skin, so I'm happy about that. I'm basically even on the week. I love to see it, if you will. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
TPC Las Vegas is in fantastic shape. It was great. Greens were, according to the board, running at a 10. But yeah, it was in great shape. I haven't been there in years. I've like 4 years probably, and it was really good.
Yeah, it was in good shape. It was the greens were a little slow in the morning because they were a little moist, but once they were on the back 9, they started getting a little bit slicker.
Yeah, course in good shape. It's such a fun place to play.
Yeah, it really is. It's a good layout. I like it. The what is that? 10, 11, 12, 13, the one where the tee box is here and the fairway just crosses.
Oh yeah.
That thing, that hole will always break my brain. You always got to think there. I love that hole, but
was the tee down below, so you're hitting up to the fairway?
No. It was pretty even. It was flat.
Oh, okay.
Was your tee behind the 13 green or 12 green?
Right behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good.
So
tee.
you're literally going across the canyon.
Yeah.
David, no, we do not do VGN tournaments. We have 100 members. We do a tournament every month, at least typically once a month. It's called Vegas Golf Network. You can check us out at vegasgolfnetwork.com. We have 100 members, 4 flights, and we play for skins money close to the pins and titles. And at the end of the year, we have a race to player of the year. So vegasgolfnetwork.com. You can check it out there. If you have any questions, David, I don't think you're in Vegas, but if you have any questions, you can hit me up on Whatnot or Instagram at Hankreeds. I'm always available.
Yeah, David, we don't do any like live video, but if you go on Golf Genius, I believe you can follow the live scoring.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, you can.
So yeah, if you go on Golf Genius and look up Vegas Golf Network, I think you have to sign up, register for something, but yeah, you can follow. We do live scoring through our event, so you could follow the scores that way if you have any interest in that.
Let's see. Do we? I don't know. Do we want to do all in or fold? I don't. Oh, I see it. Do you guys want to do that or not? It's up to you. We're at 1 hour and 5 minutes coming up. We can end it. Dad's not home, so we have full reign of the house.
Party!
Me and Jeremy are playing Shadow Creek, so tune in next week. We're playing there Thursday.
There'll be lots of content created.
I'm stoked for you guys.
We're filming the entire thing, Jeremy. Keep your
Yeah,
phone out
yes.
the
I
entire
will. I'm
time.
bringing chargers.
Yeah. I might take
And don't
this
forget,
camera off thing.
Don't forget, you guys gotta FaceTime me when you get in that shop.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
I need to see
We
what I can buy.
Joe's
there.
doing a live whatnot show. Shadow Creek Pro.
Yeah, that would be sick.
I might have to do it. I don't know. I popped
That'd be
on
sick.
Earlier. Yeah. Take
Didn't
5
someone
was
do a
another
live?
follow.
Didn't someone
From
do a
the US
live from
Open,
the
yeah.
US Open?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they did.
They did it
That's
live from the
crazy.
US Open merch tent.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't think a lot of people know what Shadow Creek is. That's the hard part.
Hmm.
Yeah, a few guys. Kevin, Birdie in a Can. I calmed down on that one. He said a few guys did it. A few guys definitely did do it on live on Whatnot from the US Open merch tent. I'm kind of scared to do it. But I'm definitely going to buy some things for the show because Shadow Creek is so special. I've walked the grounds for the LPGA tournament, and I'm so stoked. Dan and Matt have played there. Me and Jeremy, we have not played there. It's going to be our first time. The back nine is under
Virgins.
the lights. I'm so stoked to pop that cherry.
That's the sick
know what I mean?
part, though. Is like that's what I'm jealous of the most is that you guys are doing it under the fucking lights. Like I played it
Yeah.
under the big light, the sun and shit like that. But
Yeah.
that's gonna be sick. Because really,
No,
if
I
you
wish
think
you guys
about it,
were there.
Not too many people get that. Not too many people get that opportunity. You know,
It just
Tiger and
started
Phil.
2 months ago. 2 months ago it
Yeah, I
started
was
in
gonna
May, I
say
think.
Tiger and Phil. I think were the last ones to play under lights, right? Or was
Yeah,
it
they
another
played.
match?
Yeah, they
Rory
played
Scheffler.
the 19th hole. They played the 19th hole.
Oh,
under the
that's
lights.
right,
That
yeah.
little from the
That little
patio to
bullshit
the
ass
green.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
What
remember
did
that.
Rob chat? Joe would get kicked out of Shadow Creek and miss an opportunity to play. No, it's not happening. I'm playing. Limo's picking us up. We're playing. I'm shooting 45 under. It's gonna be sick. Don't worry about it.
Can I pay a cart fee and ride and watch you guys?
Please do.
That's the thing that bums me out. I wish you guys were there because it's gonna be cool. There's so many incredible holes out there, and I can't I've seen them, but I'm so stoked to play them. Like 4, 6, of course, 9.
Dude, the whole course is
7.
sick. You guys are gonna fucking
I
love
know.
it. The
I
whole
know.
course is sick.
Yeah, I can't wait, dude. I can't wait.
It'll be your number.
So-
It'll be your number one course. It'll be your number one course you played. I bet. I bet you like it better than best page.
We'll see. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
I've seen it before though, but
I don't know though. Joe's a little. bit
I
more
wouldn't
of a-
say that. I wouldn't say that Beth Page is my number one.
Oh, what's your number one then? Beth
Well,
Page.
you see, no, you see,
Trails?
I calculate on my number ones are calculated on the fact that you could play it every day.
You don't think you can play
I mean-
Beth Page Black every day?
No, I couldn't walk that course every day. You got to walk there. Can't
Oh,
walk
come
that
on,
every
bro.
day.
Come on, bro.
I think if you know me, if I was a member anywhere, right? Like you got carts. I mean, yeah, it might be my number one architecturally, but I could play Southern Pines every day in a cart. You could play Tobacco Road every day in a cart. I could play True Blue every day in a cart. So it's there's so many aspects to picking your number one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I get
Like
that.
Chambers was great, but walking that fucking course is tough.
Mhm.
And Jeremy is going to go play the home course most likely, which is going to be sick.
Yeah.
And or he's taking the drive to Salish.
It's one of those
I could
two
play-
for sure.
I could play Salish every day too.
Salish is fucking sick.
So
especially
good, dude.
especially now after the bunker renovation. I bet you I bet you it's even better than when we played it.
I bet you. Yeah.
What did you
I'm
guys
sure.
pay to play there? Do you remember?
110 maybe?
Was it like
Something like that?
115? Yeah, 115,
Yeah.
125, some shit like that.
Yeah, it's like 150. Dude,
Yeah, it's sick.
Are you
Gold
guys
Mountain's
staying
like
in
60
Seattle?
bucks.
Seattle?
Yeah, we are, but we're open to I know that they have the resort there next to Salish.
Yeah, they have the casino.
resort
there. It is a
casino,
drive.
yeah.
It is a drive. From
Yeah, it's an
Seattle.
hour and a half from Seattle, but
Yeah.
The home course is right next to Chambers Bay, I think.
Yep.
It's like really
it's
close
right
to
there.
That, yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think I
Yeah.
would say we need reports from the home course because that's the home, right?
Okay.
I think we need reports from the home course.
That place looks
But if
awesome.
it looks sick as fuck. It's like right above Chambers. But
Yeah.
I also would love for you to play Chambers too.
Maybe I'll go play an early morning at Chambers and then a home course in the afternoon.
Yes. I mean, your favorite golfer in the entire world won a
Yeah.
US Open at Chambers Bay.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I mean, what better
It's a
time?
no-brainer.
It's a tough walk. Chambers is
It is a tough one.
Yeah.
it's a brutal walk, dude.
You guys use a cart or did you just carry?
Carry.
There's no
Yeah, there's
carry.
no way you can do a cart, right? I mean, a push
Well, you
cart.
can. No.
Push cart would be awful.
I would carry.
I don't remember
yeah.
if there was push carts or not.
I don't think there's not free
Yeah,
ones.
I don't
that.
think I would want a push cart anyway, pushing it up those hills.
Was there
I mean,
caddies
have
there,
the-
Joe?
Yeah, there's caddies. You can get a caddy, Jeremy.
You can get a
yeah,
caddy.
There's caddies out there. I just watched the Golfer's Journal thing about a caddy that witnessed 2 hole-in-ones from the same day, from the same player, and he also saw someone hole out for eagle on, was it 14 with that bunkers on the left?
The big one on
eagle?
the side of the
Yeah.
mountain that goes on the side of the hill.
Yeah, it's like, and there's bunkers. I watched a little video on that. Yeah.
You remember
Wow.
that bunker on 18? That was like
Oh yeah,
15 feet deep.
it's called like the Devil's Dick or
The devil's
some shit.
anus. Yeah, the
Is that
devil's-
the one in the
devil's-
fairway or by the green?
It's in the fairway, the middle of the
It's in
fairway.
the fairway.
Yeah. And it's like you could reach it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That
You
I
don't
think
wanna go
didn't
in it,
Tiger
bro. It
get
is
it in there
death.
or something. I think
Jeremy,
Tiger
you
or
should just
someone
go
hit it
play
in there.
that. You should go play
Yeah,
that.
I should.
I think it makes sense for you because you're a huge Jordan Spieth fan, and
Yeah.
that's where he won the Open. And Gary Player was talking shit about broccoli and these greens are trash, and yeah, they're not fantastic greens, but it's pretty fucking cool.
I'm sure they're nice right now. That was a
Yeah.
different situation.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
glad
when
we
you
did it.
go play, what hole is that, Joe? 17, 16 with the train?
The lone pine,
The par 4 or the par 3 down the hill or the par 4 along the tracks?
The par 4 along the tracks.
Okay.
18, 17, 16, 15 is the par 3 into the tree.
Mhm.
Yeah. And 16 is
Right?
the
16 is the one along the train tracks.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then
the
17
is
you
the
got a par 3,
right?
and then 18 you got the
18
the
back to the
devil's.
house.
Yeah,
The devil's anus.
Taint.
yeah, yeah. It's pretty sick.
The devil's asshole. The devil's
But you
dirt
got-
star.
The devil's jelly bean.
Wow. It says
The devil's
completely derailed. Sorry to the 6 people that are still
Yeah.
watching us.
Sorry, Dad. Hope we're not grounded, Dad.
Just got flagged. Oh wow. Yeah, one of those courses will be played. I'm gonna try for both.
Yeah.
But home course
Sweet.
is gonna happen for sure.
Home course looks very dope. Very,
Mhm.
very dope. I wish we got to play there when we were up there. You guys got anything else? We're on for an hour and 14 minutes currently.
Yeah, we should just do the buyer's giveaway and head out.
Guys, bookmark the next show Friday night, and you never know when I'm popping up. Follow at Hidden Greens. Hey, shout out Tradition Golf. Go follow Tradition Golf also on the Whatnot app. Doing good things. Yeah, it's fun. It was cool to hear his insights. I didn't want to go too deep into all the intricacies, but it's cool to hear the story of where it started and all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Cox is still around. Canadian Club Flippers favorite, the Stink Eye. Yes. Oh, Stink
The
Star.
Stink
Yes.
Star. Yep. That's it.
Yeah. If you guys don't know Joel, Canadian Club Flipper on Whatnot, then yeah, that only makes sense to me and you, Kevin, I think. But also Chiruzu. Look out for Chiruzu. Anyone? What did Rob say? Anyone still listening gets a ball marker. I mean, I was thinking about giving away a Chasing Daylight podcast ball marker
Yeah.
for this episode. Why don't we say no, because that's unfair. All right, anybody that wins that can recite a line from this show and wins an item for purchase on my next show. Recite a line, just on Whatnot. You send me a line that we said, a hot take, if you will, and you buy something on the next show and you message me, I'll send you a Chasing Daylight podcast marker.
And it can't be Stink Star.
Yeah, no, yeah. Does that make sense? Did that make sense? If you buy something on my next show on Whatnot and you listen to this episode of the Chasing Daylight podcast and you reference a line.
What if somebody says, "Hey, everybody," and like that was
no, it's got to be
no,
it's got to be post thrifty.
Okay,
the holdouts.
Yeah, the guys that are still around. Post thrifty.
right.
You buy something on the show, but you know I've been here. I know, Kevin. I know. I'm just trying to think of a way that's fair to everybody.
Yeah, Kev, just tune into Joe's next show. He'll send you a ball marker, bro.
Dude, Kevin always tunes into the show. Shout out, Lil Boo Boo.
Rob, you too, bro.
All right, guys. I mean, we're going off the rails right now. All right, Kevin and Rob get a Chasing Daylight podcast ball marker. Fuck it. Let's go. You guys both get ball markers. Next time you purchase something on my Whatnot show, I'll send you a ball marker, but remind me because I'm going to forget. All right? How's that sound? Good? All right, guys.
Yeah, put W's in the chat.
Devil's dick, Jonathan Wharf. The devil's dick, yeah, man, it's a real thing. Guys, thanks for tuning in this week's episode of the Chasing Daylight podcast. Dad is not home. We had full rain, and I think it turned out great. I enjoyed that episode. Thrifty, go follow at Thrifty Golf DMV on Whatnot. Follow me on Whatnot at Hitting Greens. Follow us on Instagram at Hitting Greens. Chasing Daylight podcast on Instagram. Vegas Golf Network. We're all around. We love golf, and we love having you here. And if you ever have any questions, hit any of us up. We'll see you next week. And until then, we will catch you later.